I'm feeling a little bit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Fucking, let's make a fucking Kamehameha. All right.
I felt it a little bit.
But I'm just trying to feel my feelings when I'm looking at you guys.
I sucked a little of Andrew's energy off.
You sucked my energy off?
Yeah, I sucked his energy off.
You sucked my shock?
I'm going to take all your chakra from you. I'm going to suck.
You sucked my shock.
I'm a chakra shucking machine.
Okay. All right.
Hello.
Chase.
What's up?
Hello.
Chilling.
Can I clear my pockets? I don't know. I just enjoy. I feel comfortable when there's
Me too.
nothing in my pockets.
When I go on stage, I empty out my pockets.
God, it just feels.
It's metaphorical.
It's that much closer to naked.
I recently got naked on stage for the first time.
You did one of those? How was it?
It wasn't one of those. I just got naked on stage. It wasn't.
Hell yeah.
It was. Do you know Matthew Silver?
Hold on, let me just.
Yeah.
It's
a nice
perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Those are good.
I don't know Matthew Silver, but I like that he has a name that sounds like a producer.
He's a street performer and clown guy. Like you've probably seen his videos. Like he's got like a crazy big beard and crazy hair, and sometimes he wears like a diaper, and he just goes love and farts, fart and love. He's great. He has like a clown show, like a weird clown show.
Shout out Andrew Silver. Let's cut to that shop real quick.
We'll cut to him. We're gonna have Matthew on eventually.
We gotta have Matthew on.
Shout out. Matthew Silver. Is Matthew Silver?
Matthew Silver.
Matthew Silver. Matthew Silver.
So, but anyway, so I just came out on stage with a blanket and a pillow, and I got naked. I got into my underwear, and then I got the blanket on, and then I took my underwear off, and I just took a nap.
On stage?
And that's all I did.
That sounds so freeing.
It was great.
It sounds so freeing to play like that. That's what we gotta do. Like, you know me. I think that's why we get along so much. It's like, oh yeah, you're like, you like to play too.
I like comedy that's like, first of all, it takes risks, where there's like a ledge that you're walking along. Mm-hmm. It's not just like, okay, I know these jokes are gonna kill and I'm just gonna say them and pretend that I've never said this before.
Yeah.
I love that you are just so free and that you go up there and you just,
thanks, buddy.
But you're also like, you have power when you do it. You like have this energy and magnetism that, like, I'm free, but sometimes I'm like, I don't have that energy and that magnetism, and I respect and admire that.
I appreciate that, man. It means I'm trying to accept compliments more. Usually I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Stop. But I'm trying to just accept and I appreciate that you appreciated what I did. That means a lot to me.
And I appreciate that you appreciate that he appreciates, or that you appreciate him.
I love that. Let's get to a clip of something good. Me doing something.
Of whipped cream and hot chocolate.
Because everybody appreciate each other. That's being grateful. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
So wait, I feel like we've only met a couple times.
But it was like just... Vibes. You just know. It's like, that guy, he gets it. He gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it.
But I want to know more about you, Chase. I want to know, like, what was your life like?
Welcome to Sean and Andrew Beloved, our podcast.
That was not the
time to do the intro.
No. Is Sean and Andrew beloved?
Blow up. Blow up.
I love that.
We're trying to become successful.
I love that.
We're not trying to become successful.
No, I'm trying to become successful.
We are successful.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Can I say something? It's the little things. Also, I love the aesthetic that we all have different color chords.
Yeah, right.
I like that. Like, it's a little touch, but geez, like this goes a long way for me. Like, I love this so much. It matches
your the inkwell.
Yeah.
It's like I knew, man.
He knew. He felt it.
Yeah. So tell me about it. Houston, you grew up there. What was your childhood like, dude? Like, what was playing for you as a kid?
Oh man. So I was like, my parents worked all the time. Mm-hmm. I hopped from daycare to daycare. I saw every daycare in the neighborhood. I would get bored real quick. So I'm like, let's see what that other place is like. Like, it's just another building and another room of possibilities, Yeah. And my parents worked all the time. So I was like the neighborhood kid. My mom would always strike a deal with how many kids you got here? 3? Would you ever look after my kid for like $20? You know what I mean? Always like a Latino lady, like, let's go, yes, you know what I mean? Or a Filipino lady, like, just so I hung out with lots of different kids, different cultures and stuff like that. And in Texas, everybody goes to church. So I'd go to a lot of different churches and stuff, and you sort of just, there's a showmanship with some religions that, you know, when you think, if everything's 10,000 hours, if you count church stuff, everybody in Texas has seen 1,000 comedy shows.
Yeah. That's amazing.
By the time they're 10.
I was just watching that show, that movie, Lottery Ticket. You ever see that movie?
With Lil Bow Wow?
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about now.
The pastor's so funny in that. He's got stand-up charisma on there. And I'm just like, how many? I mean, what's his name? Kinnison was a preacher, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of preacher vibes in show business in general.
For sure, it's all just the stage. It's all just a stage.
And like tent revivals, right? Like back in the day, whatever, in the 1910s, fucking tent revivals. That was when people would just show up with a tent and then hold church, and like you had to be an amazingly charismatic performer to get people who didn't know you already, who, like you weren't in the family, to just show up and trust you and believe you and like you.
Dude, yeah. My dad was into going to all sorts of wacky churches before he became a Lakewood guy. But I remember going to like some tent shit. I definitely saw some snake shit. I saw all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's a Steve Martin movie, Leap of Faith. I remember that came out. That was a good one too. And I just really enjoyed the ringmaster, or you know what I mean? Like just it all felt.
I was a daycare kid too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
You got any brothers and sisters?
No, only child.
Same.
Really?
Same. Yeah,
That's
bro.
Also probably
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, bro. You?
No, I have 2 brothers and I had nannies.
Are you the older or the youngest one?
I'm the middle.
You're the middle.
Middle child.
Hell yeah. That, you know what? I feel like middle children and only children, there's a bond there.
I was basically an only child because I was the one that was ignored every time. That baby got all the work and my older brother was the troublemaker, so I was just there waiting for somebody to notice me. No one ever did. I still haven't.
But you didn't have to go to daycare, did you?
We went to we had like nursery school and stuff.
Nursery school.
Yeah, but like after school, like once I had like 5 now.
I remember my daycare called the police on me once.
The police?
Yeah.
How old were you? What happened?
I was probably like 6 or 7. I threw a chair. I don't know who I threw it at.
What adult?
I also remember like
a 6-year-old on.
The hamster. One of the hamsters ate the head off the other hamster at daycare.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
A hamster ate the head off another hamster?
Yeah,
that's insane. That's insane.
They either fuck or they eat each other. Hamsters are not good together.
Yeah, daycare was it wasn't traumatic, but I feel like I would have been a happier person if I had never gone to daycare.
I get that. That's why, I went did you go to the same one or did you hop around and go to different ones?
Hop around.
Yeah, you did the same thing.
Yeah,
That's
Pooh's
good.
Corner, there was one called Pooh's Corner.
Pooh's Corner.
I remember they had like a Rottweiler, the lady who owned it, and her boyfriend would hang around. It was weird.
Oh my God. Yeah, that might have been an illegal daycare. Who knows?
Yeah.
Those existed too, man.
I remember waking up from nap time in a puddle of piss.
It was yours?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Unless the dog peed on me.
Yeah, that's the only time it's good to be in your own piss. God, Rottweiler. What? God, every time we do a podcast, Andrew reveals a new piece of information about himself. And I'm like, this puzzle is just getting more complex and more insane to look at every single time.
Yeah. It was a good era. How old are you, if you don't mind me?
I'm 37.
Okay, cool. Similar era.
Yeah.
I'm 41.
Okay, nice.
But I remember back then they used to show us movies like they didn't care about it had to be a G-rated movie. Like you watched whatever the person babysitting you wanted to watch at the daycare. I remember watching Toxic Avenger at a daycare and being like, okay, this rules. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. What's your favorite daycare snack? Do you remember like snacks or breakfast? Did you get there super? I was always the first one to get there and the last one to leave.
I'm trying to think. I want to say Rice Krispies treats, but then I realized that wasn't a daycare snack. That was the time the bus driver left me on the bus and drove me to the bus depot.
What?
And this like old Chinese man gave me like Chinese Rice Krispies treats and waited for my parents to pick me up.
Wait, was there something special about the Chinese version compared to a regular version? What did you think he did to it? Do you remember? It's so long ago. There's no.
It was just like a Chinese brand of Rice Krispies.
Okay. So it's sweeter. It's probably sweeter.
I remember like
real sugar.
Yeah, like real. Yeah. Probably better rice.
Yeah, it was good.
It wasn't that corn syrup.
How about you?
What
was your daycare treat?
I remember they were really good about cinnamon toast.
Ooh, CTC.
They had some just cinnamon, like actual toast with like some cinnamon on it. You know what I mean?
Reminded me that was a thing.
You remember that?
I forgot cinnamon toast was a thing. Like I know cinnamon toast crunch is a thing, but I forgot actual cinnamon toast. With butter on it and just toasted with the. Oh, that's good.
It is really good.
Sean, what was like a revelatory snack that you had like at a friend's house that was something that you didn't have at home?
Revelatory snack at a friend's house. Well, I wasn't invited to many friends' houses. I was pretty ostracized.
Why?
I just wasn't popular. I don't know why. No, my buddy Nino, his mom used to make some Serbian dishes that I can't remember.
Ooh, Serbian dishes.
Yeah, those were always pretty interesting. Until like then, but then they would always end up with his family screaming at each other. Like it's one of those like they speak Serbian to each other, but it always just sounds like they're yelling at each other. It's one of those like, and it's always like, yeah, I just need to take out the laundry or something. But like it was always
a lot of languages are very yelling.
Yeah, they're very yelling.
Like Cantonese.
Yeah. I love that though. Yeah. You know? I mean, being from Texas, I didn't meet like Jewish people till I got older. So I thought I thought the Costanzas, I'm like, I want to be an old person like that. Like people talk about who your comedy heroes are. For me, like I think Jerry Stiller, oh my God, bro. He crushed that role so hard. But just they talk to each other passionately. Like they feel what they're saying, you know?
My Aunt Martha is very Estelle Costanza. She's like, come on, who the cares? She's like Susie from Curb.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with pouring your all into it. Like they actually feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think those are my favorite people.
Arguing is fun to me because my family always argued. But like some people they get emotional and they start getting angry and they take it personally. But I'm just like, this is fun. This is sport for me.
For you, it's a love language.
It's a volley. We're volleying.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's a love language for sure. Like, I love that.
Send it back my way.
Nah, I grew up Irish Catholic, so it's just all passive aggressive, as in. You just push everything to the side until it blows up. That's the way it works. If something's been bothering you for a while, you ignore it until it comes to an absolute head, and then everything else you ignored comes out of that moment, and then it's a horrible like 24 hours, but then it's back down to zero. It's like a volcano eruption of our people, where it's like it's fine, nothing is fine. Somebody might die, everyone's crying, and then we're back down to zero, neutral. It's a much more.
I love that. It's like a fireworks display.
It's very much an all or nothing. Yeah. It's fireworks display.
Yeah. You see the little ones popping off, and then all of a sudden this is the M80.
And the eruption,
the finale.
The eruption thing is always the most minute, small fucking thing. You know, just like somebody didn't pick up a towel off the floor, or just like it's like a really tiny thing that erupted the thing that's been boiling for weeks.
Yeah.
Did your family fight at all?
I mean, they were divorced, so it was mostly just, I was, my dad lived a neighborhood away.
Oh,
so
nice. That's not far.
It wasn't that far at all. Yeah. So it was cool. But no, I didn't really see them interact with each other until like way, way later, So,
they divorced before you were born?
Yeah, I was like 2, so I don't remember them
early.
My parents divorced when I was 6, and I remember sided with my mom so hard. And when my dad left the house, I was like, yes. But in retrospect, I was like, this means I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. It wasn't like, the bad guy left. It was like, I'm the bad guy now.
Your mom's just trapped with you now with no one else to help.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just remember we had hardwood floors, and I just remember covering them in dish soap and sliding around because I saw it in some movie, and just like sliding around in the living room.
You made an ice skating rink? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, you're just doing some Dennis the Menace shit.
Wild out.
Andrew the Menschish.
The Mensch.
What's a Mensch in Jewish?
Is a good guy.
Okay, that's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know hippies that like raise their, not hippies, but I know people who are like free-minded people that are, they have these alternate ways of raising their kids and stuff. And that's the stuff that they do. Like, do whatever you want, and we'll talk to you like a human being afterwards and tell you that it's wrong or whatever.
No, my mom was just checked out. Probably she was traumatized from my dad, because my dad was like he wasn't like crazy abusive, but he was a little abusive for sure. And also my mom's parents, I feel like she felt robbed of a childhood, so she kind of let me do whatever I want to like heal herself as a child, but she didn't really put any boundaries on and didn't do the explaining afterwards really. Right. So I was left basically to raise myself kind of in a weird way. So it wasn't good.
Yeah, but in your house you were like that. But on the streets, like, did you have a lot of friends? You went over their house and partied with them or whatever?
Yeah, I remember me and my friends would just throw rocks through people's windows in their houses.
You were just a little terrorist as a child. I get honestly, he got expelled 4 times from school, and the more I find out, the more I'm like on the school side.
Oh yeah,
like, they
me
were
too.
right to get rid of you. You should have been locked away forever.
Expelled. That means you have to go to a different school, sometimes in another district or something. That's crazy.
The one time I don't side with the school though is when I brought a lighter to school and a road flare, and I chased the kid with the road, but the road flare wasn't lit, and they expelled me. It was the last day of school, and they expelled me because I had the lighter. That was why they expelled me. I'm like, I didn't light anything on fire. No one actually got hurt. There was no sparks even.
No, I kind of agree with him, dude.
But it was the last day of school. You couldn't let me have that.
If you accidentally light that thing, you're setting the entire school
But
to
I
the
didn't.
ground.
That's like chasing somebody with a gun and being like, but I didn't pull the trigger. I mean,
there was no bullets
People
in
go
it.
to jail for attempted murder. Yeah, no, they were completely in the
you
right
had
on
all
that
the
one.
elements to.
Okay,
The
but
one
I
where
didn't
you
know
just, like-
how to do it even.
What do you mean?
You light the wick.
No, that's not how you do it.
Now you gotta pop the cap off.
You pop the cap
so you didn't know how to do it.
That's
So I
still
didn't know.
super dangerous, yeah. And also, that's even like more dangerous. Like it could just come off on its own if you like rub it against something accidentally.
No, I didn't know what I was doing.
No, you were a terrorist.
Did the kid have it coming though?
No.
No,
In fact, it
completely
was so
innocent.
stupid because I had a huge crush on his girlfriend. This was 5th grade, so
Yes,
we didn't even really have.
you were a
girlfriends.
terrorist incel.
I was in love with this girl, and then like 6 months after she said, "Let's be friends," we didn't even date. You know, she dated this guy. They probably even broke up at that point.
Yeah, they were 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I had this road flare because I was going to trade for M80. And the kid didn't bring the M80, so I'm like, I just have this road flare. Then I see the kid who I'm like, oh yeah, you fucking dated the girl I liked, and then I just chased him with her.
Did she ever hit you up after that? Like that was so
No.
romantic.
She ever see one of your videos online and be like, that's the guy that almost killed everybody.
I was a huge asshole. This is like, I don't even know if I want to say this, but I will because I'm like ashamed of this. But like when she told me that she wasn't into me, I told the whole lunchroom that she had a learning disorder. I like got up on a table. I'm like, hey everyone.
Yeah, you're a bad guy.
I mean, I was 10 years old. I mean, I regret
What makes
it.
you this warm and nice of a person now?
is
But sometimes you have to test
Yeah.
how bad you are.
Well,
and
I guess
thank
it's
God
better
it wasn't
you
that
got
crazy.
all the badness out early, and then like as opposed to other people start nice and innocent, and then they get you.
Right. Well,
You were evil, but you got good. So it's
I
like
wasn't evil. I just like I felt all this pain of rejection from her. And I was just like, oh, she must have done something horrible to me because I feel this pain. So I'm going to try to make her feel this pain so she knows how it feels. You know, it wasn't to me, I didn't like understand that she was just having boundaries and stating what she needed. I was just so emotionally ignorant that I thought, okay, she's hurting me. I thought it was like self-defense or retribution for what she did to me, but it wasn't.
an eye for an eye. That's as the saying goes. That makes me happy.
And it wasn't an eye for an eye even. It was
yeah, you're
just-
right. It was a pinky for an eye, an ear, and a thumb.
But I was so dumb that I thought it was.
Yeah,
I get you.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? You felt. That's what's interesting. People need to remember when you're talking about kids. By the way, I put the headphones on.
Yeah.
It's a totally different world.
Yeah.
Totally different world.
More intimate,
I get it.
right?
It's more intimate.
Yeah.
There's something I like hearing my voice. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
weird, even though it's right here and my ear is right here.
It's much smoother, isn't it?
I hear it so much better with
It's like
this
we're in
on.
a bubble. We're in like a little force field bubble traveling through time now.
Yeah. But I think interesting what you said about the eye for an eye thing, or you just wanted to get back at it. But I feel like it when you're a child, we don't know how to regulate our emotions. So much problems is because we don't know how to regulate what we're feeling.
Yeah.
And that felt even. It's like, cool, now we're even. You know what I mean? Like,
But you know what? Karma's a bitch because you know what I just started doing for a job?
what's up?
Substitute teaching
Oh, wow.
in grade schools.
Wow.
And guess what? They actually do try to teach emotional intelligence now. So it's kind of cool.
Incredible.
Yeah, I think this is where our generational gap comes in a little bit because they were pretty good and hands-on when I was the same age you were when I was in school.
Not for
I'm
me.
29, so it's like we had you just talk out your feelings and like you don't hurt people and like there was zero tolerance on like all the crazy shit and stuff. So it's like
But you were also in a wealthy school district.
yeah.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, no, I started off in like when I was in kindergarten. I went to a private school, and then The Simpsons came out, and I was like, I want to go where Bart Simpson goes. put me where everybody's at. I want to see the real world. When I was like, are you sure you want to go to a public school? I was like, yeah, I want to see what the real world is like. And then I was like, oh hell yeah, like what was
your conclusion? Like what struck you as different when you got to public school?
It was harder, but I liked it. Similar to stand-up in that I feel like the first year it took me a second to get going and feeling like I can be myself. But once I did it amongst these, like, not that the private school kids weren't normal kids, but just that there was just a mix of classes there that I really enjoyed. And you know what I mean? I just thought, like, it felt like the real world. You know what I mean? Just public school. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, you know?
What was like middle school like for you?
Nightmare. I've never been more depressed than I was in middle school.
Oh, wow.
I felt like middle school because your body's changing.
It's the worst time of everyone's
It's the worst.
life.
Like, but it was. I remember never being so depressed like every day. Like I was depressed. I was sad. I was mad.
Were there bullies?
No, I was bullying myself. So yeah, like you know what I mean. Like you're just in your head so much, feeling so bad. Like it's like we're almost in high school now. Like we gotta be, whatever. And man, I just remember not liking the middle school experience. It wasn't on the people. It wasn't on the teachers or anything. It was just very much a me thing. I could not handle.
What were you beating yourself up about?
Everything. I didn't like I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I acted, the way I sounded, just everything. I was just, just want to be not this. Like, why this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's one of those you look at everybody else, like, they have so much better than me, while they're actually going through the same exact insecurities and problems. Because it's the silliest. You're just going through puberty, and so your hormones are fucking insane. And, like, you're surrounded by everybody else whose hormones are going insane. And somebody's a little taller than you. Now somebody's better looking. People are growing boobs. And, like, and then you're, like, and somewhere in the middle, you're supposed to learn, like, basic arithmetic math. And you're like, well, fuck this. I'm not focusing on this at all.
See, the more I hear about middle school from other people, the more I'm like, actually, maybe my experience was better. Because the last day of school, I got expelled. They put me in a special school. It was called Clearview. And it was like year-round school, ages 6 through 20. So there were 20-year-olds in my middle school, but we had like different classes. It was like 6 kids per class with 3 teachers per class.
Well, that's the idea.
So that was like the 7th grade that happened to you, or the 8th grade? How many? There's
6th grade.
6th grade. So your last 2 years of middle school were at?
No, all of middle school.
All of middle school
Was at this wacky place.
Yeah, all of middle school, but I was the cool kid. So I actually
That's what I'm saying. You had a role. A role. It made sense.
My ego got inflated in middle school because everyone there was so like deficient that I was like, yeah, I'm the shit. I'm not freaking out. But the teachers would restrain us.
Really?
Like if they had a whiff that you were about to like hit another kid or anything like that, even if you weren't, they would jump on you and they would like twist your arm behind your back, and it was for like an hour. That was crazy.
Yeah. That was always crazy when we saw that. Because in my school, there was one kid, his name was Cordero, and he was deaf and mentally disabled, and he was in Gen Pop with the rest of us, and there was just every day he would fight Mrs. Stewart for like a month straight because they didn't have like the special teacher to come in and teach his kid, and so he just one day he literally just fucking Undertaker slammed her to the ground at
Holy
7.
shit!
And this was like an 8-year-old kid versus at least a 30-year-old woman.
Oh my God.
Wow. And then she came back though and then re-wrestled him and slammed him to the ground. And I was like, hell yeah, Mr. Stewart, I got your back here. It was the best. It was insane. Like it was just this very hulking, very strong 8-year-old boy versus an adult woman who was probably like, I don't know, 5'5",
dude,
like 130 pounds, but they're about even at this time somehow.
When I was subbing last Friday, there was a kid in 5th grade. I was subbing at an autistic school in Queens. There was a kid who was in 5th grade or 4th grade who was 215, like 215 pounds. Like this kid was brawling, and he's gonna be huge. It made me wonder, like, would autistic people be good in sumo?
I think anything that they're passionate about, they're gonna be the number. Like they're gonna do it to the best of their ability and pour so much energy into it. I would think, right?
Yeah, I feel like it'd be really. I mean, it depends, I guess, the severity of their autism. But yeah, I feel like if you're pretty low on the spectrum or whatever.
But all the kids are nonverbal in this.
Oh, nonverbal.
School. I don't know if they would get like out strategized.
I don't know. Because you just kind of gotta teach them, right? Like the basic strategy of sumo, which is just basically getting a little good leverage and pushing the guy out. You don't need to talk for that.
I guess so. I don't know.
That's true. You know, now that I'm thinking about middle school even more, it did have some high highs and low lows.
Oh, what were the high highs?
I remember the high highs. First of all, there was like a wood shop class that had computers in it, and that was like, you know, my first real introduction to, I think, PC gaming, because you could, like, they had, like, the R-rated games there. Like, they had Doom and Mortal Kombat.
They had Doom in middle school?
Yeah, they had Doom, like, on those computers, and Wolfenstein.
Before they figured out how to block games,
Yeah, like, they didn't care. So it was just, and we just do it in the shop class. Like, and the teacher would be like, as long as you make this, do whatever you want on the computer. I don't care.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And then I remember also... that's where I took an acting class. What do you call it? Theater arts or whatever.
Nice.
Man, I loved that class so much. And we went to, I remember we went to like other schools and did some things. And I would like win contests and stuff. And I was like, oh, like I'm actually good at this. Like this is fun. And then I quit.
Damn.
I quit because there was like some kid was mad because I had all these like medals or whatever, and some kids like, that kid was cussing or whatever. And I was like, I didn't cuss. And they're like, and the teacher was like, you have to apologize to the school or they're gonna take away all your medals. And I'm like, but I didn't do anything. And I remember I was so mad that I had to apologize for something I didn't do, and I didn't know how to articulate it and stand up for myself and say, take this, I don't care. I did it, and I was so mad at myself and everybody involved in that I was like, I'm just not gonna act anymore.
Damn.
So in high school I didn't act.
Devastating.
And then I started doing stand up. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to like that. I used to like stuff, you know.
I had the same thing kind of happen to me where like, not exactly that. I got two where I had to apologize, right? And it wasn't me. And the one time I loved acting, and then I didn't get the role I wanted, and I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna do sports instead.
Yeah.
I practiced so hard for whatever. I forgot what the role was, but I was really hard for the lead, and I knew I was better than they gave it to my friend Nelson Trustler. And I was like, you give it to him, his mom brings in snacks, and my mom has a job. That's why I felt that. I was like, my mom just doesn't hang around the school like everybody else's stay-at-home mom. My mom is a lawyer. God, I hated that. Now, the big one was for me in middle school. There was this. My last name's Barry, and so like, most people call me Barry. There's another kid whose first name was Barry, so it was a mistaken identity. And one day, that Barry called this kid Zach Jackson the N-word, and it was a big controversy. And it goes around and kind of everybody finds out that it just was Barry called Zach the N-word, and everyone thought it was me. To the point they bring me down to the principal's office, and they're like, I'm like getting yelled at for like the language. I was like, I wasn't even like, I forget where I was. It was on the recess against. Oh, you know what it is? I stole a chocolate milk from the lunch lady line, and I thought that's what they were mad about at first. So I'm like, I'm sorry. And then they bring Zach in, and he's like, and he says, oh no, this N-word's cool. Like, which is the funniest thing I've ever heard in hindsight. But I was like, yeah, I had to, like, they still made me apologize to him. Even though he said I didn't say it. It was the other Barry. And I was like, oh. So
Teachers sometimes get really egotistical about, like, they can't admit they were wrong. In front of kids. Like there is such a thing as ageism to kids. Like, I don't understand how people like that was my big chip on my shoulder is like I felt like the teachers should respect me and treat me as an equal. And I get now, like, okay, you know, there was a lot I didn't know then, but you're still a human being, and there's certain things kids know that adults don't know.
Right.
There's certain like emotional like purity and like clear-mindedness that you see the world in without any preconceived notions that I think is equal in value to experience and intelligence and knowledge. And I think, you know, everyone should be treated as an equal. And that kind of pissed me off as a kid. And that's part of the reason why I got in so much trouble.
Well, you know what? Now I think you were an advocate, bro. I think you were an advocate for the equal rights of ageism. It makes sense, though. And you're absolutely right. Like, I feel the same way, but it kind of teaches us something for the world, though, when you think about it, because that's really how the world is. Like, people...
Oh, it's just one giant... everything is some form of classism, where somebody always thinks they're above somebody else. You know, and, like, that's honestly the biggest problem. Somebody just goes in assuming, like, oh, I'm better than this person, and then they treat them like that.
Right. And just because someone grew up in, like, a war-torn nation that didn't have, like, a good education system doesn't mean that person doesn't have wisdom and knowledge, or a tribe in the Amazon who doesn't have like, clothing or technology doesn't mean they don't have like knowledge that we don't.
Yeah.
That we need.
Well, I think they do have not, but I think they have skills and things that are on the same level,
But I'm just saying, historically, those people were treated like trash.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole thing is Westerners came into underlying indigenous people and they saw, they don't have cars and guns yet, so they must not be as good as us.
But it's crazy. We still do that to children. We still do that to, it's like...
Well, I think with children, it's a little like they genuinely don't know any better because they haven't learned anything yet.
I mean, obviously, they shouldn't vote for president, probably, but you shouldn't...
Yeah.
Man, if they did, we'd have some fun presidents. Just being real, yeah.
Who do you think kids will vote for president right now?
Boy, SpongeBob, is he still popular?
He's not a person. You gotta be a human being.
You could write in votes.
Taylor Swift for president.
Taylor Swift would probably. She's not 30.
Something like that. I'm cool with that. I'm actually cool with that.
I think she'd actually do a pretty good job, honestly.
The Rock would be okay.
Nah, The Rock would be bad. Now that he's a heel again, no, I'm not gonna vote for him.
I want heel rock.
Don't get me wrong. Heel rock.
I love a heel.
Heel rock is better than face rock, but as president, nah.
I just want to see him double choke slam Biden and Trump.
That's not his move, dude. That's not his move.
But he can do it
with a rock bottom or a people's elbow.
Which is the rock bottom again?
It's basically kind of a choke slam, but it's a different move. He grabs him by the waist, not by the throat.
The waist? That's stupid.
I can't tell you. It's his move, all right? That's how he does it.
Just like tickles them?
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
so we just got to do better than Putin riding that horse. So I think heel rock all
just
day.
a shredded president.
Just clothesline Putin on the horse. That would be amazing.
Yeah, man. I love that, dude.
Yeah. Okay, here's a weird question.
What's up?
If you had like a magic bean that you planted and it could grow anything, what would you have it grow?
Tits. That was the first word that came to my head. I don't know why. I think that'd be so cool. Just be walking by, it's like, oh, look at that on the ground. It's tits.
Just like
everybody loves tits.
What size
Everyone
tits?
loves tits.
Doesn't matter. Just tits.
Just like normal size tits.
No, each branch is a different size of tits, right?
Wow, a titty tree.
A titty tree. Yeah.
In my head, I was just thinking like you how archaeologists dust stuff off and you just see like
ancient tits.
Just the tits.
Now I'm just thinking about a titty tree though.
Yeah.
They got money trees. Why can't we have a titty tree? Just a tree where the leaves look like that and it feels like that. It's like, this is crazy. This tree.
People would care about the environment more.
We would definitely have more trees than people at that.
And people would just be like, that tree is so beautiful.
Look at that majestic,
jiggling in the wind. It's cold out. The nipples are hard.
Those trees would produce a whole new type of wood. Yeah. That'd be nice.
And tweaking the titty tree.
Yeah, dude, you gotta cut one down for Christmas.
Oh, you can't cut the titty tree down.
No, you gotta do it. Everybody brings it into their house for warmth, but then the people that can't afford it, they have to take in like the single A cup titty trees.
Oh, the A cups.
Yeah, the A cups.
Yeah.
You know, the rich families, they got the big fat F titties. Titty tree.
But that does make me angry that they cut down Christmas trees. Like, why don't you just have it in a planter?
Oh, they just destroy them and then they're put out to die?
Yeah, like why don't you just have a small tree in a pot of soil?
Because they're ugly.
What do you mean
Small
they're ugly?
trees. I like a big, nice pine tree.
So then have it in a pot of soil.
You being Jewish trying to ruin Christmas for everybody.
No.
This is all part of their plot.
They smell great.
They smell great. They're nice.
I'm not saying don't have a Christmas tree. I'm saying keep it alive.
Yeah, most people do.
No, they
don't.
Where I grew up, they did. Because
Really?
Yeah, well, because I grew up in like the Woodley area, so a lot of people would replant them. My dad used to replant them all the time.
Oh,
and then we
cool.
literally ran out of room because, every year goes by.
In Texas, the second it gets some kind of warm outside, there's like a bonfire and people just light the trees on fire and they burn up in seconds.
Yeah, those light up quick.
They light up so quick. It's just fun to watch.
There's a reason why Christmas
fun.
is usually a tragedy for most of the nations because people will, a cat will knock one thing over and then light the whole house on fire.
Jesus.
And it's the cat's running around with a flare gun and shooting it off. The cat's name's Andrew.
Yeah, right.
That's so funny. Andrew, do you and your wife decorate for Christmas? Like, do y'all?
No, we're both Jews.
Oh.
Well,
or for the holidays. Do you do for the...
What do we do? I don't know. Do we decorate? I think no, not really.
Not really. Not even like a wreath. I don't know. Is it a
We have a
wreath?
Hanukkah. We have a
Do you
menorah.
have an Aretha Franklin that you put up?
No, we have a Aretha Arthur. Like,
You're trying to do B. Arthur?
No,
No.
Franklin the Turtle, the cartoon.
Oh.
The Arthur.
I like that.
There you go.
It took a while to good.
That's great.
It's a big stretch there.
Chase, we asked all of our guests, did you and your buddies ever jack off together?
I never said we were going to ask everyone that.
No, it's
you just decided
I've added that.
to
Because
bring
you asked
that
like the
back.
first 3 guests, and so now I've asked all the rest. It's now become it's our standard question.
It's your standard question.
No, yeah, it's gonna be my number one question.
No
to ask.
responsibility
Yeah,
for
when
that.
you were like
Chase.
14, 15, and everybody's discovering themselves. You had like a sleepover, and then just you guys start whacking it.
No.
Okay.
But I did feel like I discovered something. Like, guys, you're not going to believe me. I'll leave the room if you want to try it.
Yeah.
But all it takes is like 12 minutes.
How old were you when you saw porn for the first time?
Oh, man. I remember when I saw tits for the first time. That was Howard the Duck. And it was duck titties. And I'm glad I'm not a furry.
Yeah.
But, man, that was the first one.
A feathery.
That was the first one. And then the first one I remember first boner might have been Jessica Rabbit, watching Roger Rabbit at the movie theater. And I was like, what is that? Like, just something about her dance and the fucking glove and everything. Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. This like when the tits touch, you heard the sound effect.
She's a busty redhead that fucks a rabbit. Why wouldn't you want her?
Yeah, they were able to translate that to cartoon, to a person that liked cartoon shit, you know? But then the first, like, actual naked titties was that movie Just One of the Guys, where it was a girl that dressed up like a guy and she pretended to be a guy, and then the plot twist
That's the one
was
with
that
Tom Cruise, right?
No.
That's a lot.
I don't think this had any super famous people in
Just
it.
one of the guys.
I remember that movie.
It was an 80s. It was an 80s movie. It used to come on HBO all the time.
There is one with Tom Cruise where it's like the girl is trying to be a guy as well, and he falls for it. He's like a linebacker or something.
He could have been in that movie.
I don't know. Yeah, because I remember it's like something with the football team. I don't know. Like they also made the same movie like 45 times in the 80s.
Exactly.
It's always the same. It's either they swapped bodies or somebody's changing their gender, but before transgender was a thing, and then they're like, oh, this is wacky, and then it usually ends with somebody being sexually assaulted.
That's crazy.
That's Revenge of the Nerds.
I used to just watch my dad's porn.
Really?
I had it in the closet under the towels.
I think transgender was always a thing. I think it was a thing for a long time.
No, I meant like in mainstream.
Right, and yeah.
It's been around hundreds of years.
Right.
Hundreds.
Maybe even kabillions of
Millions. God is trans.
Since the stars.
Yes. No, God is non-binary. There's a difference.
Non-binary.
Yeah, non-God, binary being. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They say, I just heard this on a podcast, that Elohim, which is like the original Hebrew in the Bible for God, is plural. So in the beginning of the Bible, God is plural, and then they change it to Yahweh, which is singular. So the gods changed.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It makes sense, though. I do like the idea of, because if God could be anything, it could be two. It could be three.
What if God was one of us?
Just SpongeBob.
Yeah, he's one of us.
I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What if everything was made of guns?
Stop. Yeah.
And you just grab things and you just, boom, it shoots things. You know, just everything's made of guns.
Have you ever been to a gun show?
No.
You have now.
How dare you, Sean, you son of a bitch bastard.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome, ladies. I'm newly single.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you in a relationship?
No.
When's the last time you were in one?
I mean, people think, sometimes you date somebody, they think you're in a relationship, or you think you're in a relationship, and then sometimes you're not in the relationship that you thought you were, or they're not in the relationship that they thought you were.
I don't know. Kids are calling it a situationship these days.
Yeah, situationships, that happens all the time. You know what I mean? You try to find somebody and discover somebody and stuff like that,
Have you ever had your heart broken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
When was the first time you had your heart broken?
Jesus. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, ever since you start having feelings, it just goes on from there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we mess up, they mess up. Mm-hmm. It's just it's a dance. It's a soupy dance, It's a dance. Just remembering that it's a dance, it's fine.
I used to have like such intense crushes in like high school and
the crushes were insane because it's fun to dream about it. It's fun to imagine it.
You
it's
create
fun.
This whole fantasy world for yourself. That's why like one of my favorite movies is 500 Days of Summer, because it's the one sequence where he's like imagining them get back together. And then they show the side by side of what he thought was going to happen versus what actually happens. And it's just, life is terrible. And that's what a crush is. It crushes you.
Yeah.
Love is not real.
It felt so real though. It felt like
It's so dark.
Like, I got dumped 5 days ago.
yeah.
Oh, dude. You know what? Congratulations on
I'm not crying during this podcast.
just the rest of your life, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to invest anymore into, you know, whatever it is. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
man.
it's
That
all right.
sucks.
It's
That
okay. I'm
sucks.
telling everybody, so I get a lot of sympathy, honestly.
That's healthy, but that's healthy. Me, I couldn't even answer the question of the first heartbreak. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
fair.
I would trade. You talking about, you know, the people in the third world villages or whatever, or this, you know, Amazon, whatever. What was the country you said? What were you talking about?
I
The
don't
people
know.
that
Burkina
Amazon
Faso.
Village, yeah.
the village people.
The village people.
Whoever, like, I would trade my ability to be, you know, good on a phone for like 1% more emotional intelligence. I think it's worth it. So
Yeah.
I've been doing this meditation to try to raise my emotional intelligence.
Whoa, what is that?
It's just like
My coffee just kicked in. I'm
Oh,
hearing that.
nice.
We can start it right here.
Okay, and start.
I swear to God.
Now the feelings are going.
Okay.
No, just like visual, just looking at anything, looking at a person or just of a scene, and then just feeling my feelings and just trying to keep that dual external internal awareness at the same time.
Like being the observer and the participator in the feeling? What is that? What does that mean?
You're the watcher
Just-
and the watchee.
No, just being aware of the external world and the internal world simultaneously,
I just jack off personally.
The internal was on it. I got you.
like bridging the gap between.
How do you bridge the gap?
Just by having awareness of both.
And do you just dive, or do you think, why do I feel this way, or do you just think what do
No.
you
Just being present to both. Just not conceptualizing it. You're not thinking about the emotions. You're not thinking about what you're seeing. You're just being aware of the emotions and being aware of the visual field around you.
I love that, because I feel like our language gets in the way so much with
Yeah.
what we're doing, and it stops the flow of anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like, take it back to stand up. Like when you're on stage, it's like if you're not recording your set, it's like, oh, I said something funny. Now your whole set is ruined because in your head you're like, when I get off stage, I got to write down such and such instead of just keep going, diving deep, because
Stay
you
in the
could be
moment,
sitting
yeah.
on, there could be so much gold about to fly out from that truth.
The worst thing I do on stage is say, I should have done this, or I should have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I should have prepared for the set differently. I should just anytime I take myself out of a moment and like berate myself and make
While you're there?
yeah, that's
Right.
the worst thing I can do.
Right. After the set, I do that.
Yeah.
And that's how I write. I feel like, oh, I should have said this. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I'm right. That. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I...
There's kind of where you see like a comic or you do it yourself. You're like, well, that didn't go well. Well, after that, you just land a joke and it kind of bombs. You're like, then now everyone's like, all right, now no one's having a good time, you know?
Right.
Or at least if you power through it, like you can at least kind of salvage it a little bit.
Yeah, but once I start guilt tripping myself on
Yeah.
stage, then I'm just like sad, and that colors the rest of what I'm gonna say, and I start to
And then he's naked and sad.
no, that's the cool thing about the clown shows is like you don't have to speak. You can
What's the clown shows?
like the thing where I got naked on stage.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
that was. Okay. okay.
Yeah.
The Idiot's Hour with Matthew Silver. There's also the other one. It's the Clown Gym by.
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them. The Clown Gym is the one I've done some work for. But
Yeah.
they're nice
I
people.
will say this, even if you
Plug
do second guess yourself and start doing that while you're on stage, you can still salvage it by just saying it out loud. Like, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I did this and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I've done that before, and they appreciate, it's so funny how it's just connecting with people.
That's true, but I also can just salvage it by noticing I'm doing that, and then just telling myself like it's okay, just keep going. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't beat myself up.
Forgiving yourself,
Yeah.
or say it to them and be like, guys, I'm gonna forgive myself. Whatever's your way of dealing with it,
Yeah.
do it. That's
Yeah.
so good, because there's been times I've done stuff like that at the top, and then I'm just phoning in the rest of it or whatever. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that meditation I was telling you about, I think I designed that specifically for stand-up. It's just to be more emotionally connected.
You
with the audience.
designed that for stand-up.
Yeah,
I love that.
to be more emotionally connected with the audience. Because sometimes I'll notice like, hey, I'm speaking and I'm not feeling my feelings, or I'm looking at the crowd and I'm emotionally checked out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it's more just like a forcing yourself to be in the present. Is it a meditation? Like, does it take time to do it, or do you just
Yeah.
can you zap into it like
I mean, I try to do it for a couple minutes a
All
day.
right, let's try and zap into it right now.
I'm already doing it, bro.
No. We're gonna do it all at once. All right, we're all gonna.
We don't have to not talk to do it.
No, we don't have to not talk, but we just need to snap into it. Ready?
All it is just seeing
Ready?
each other.
Every focus their chakras in the middle. We're gonna put it right here in the middle. All right, we're gonna combine our comedic energies just together. And we're gonna
Right there?
Yeah, right here. Ready?
That's you're okay.
Come on.
I don't know what this is.
It's there. You guys feeling it?
No.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
I'm feeling a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fucking, let's make a fucking Kamehameha. All right.
I felt it a little bit.
But I'm just trying to feel my feelings while I'm looking at you
I
guys.
sucked a little of Andrew's energy off.
You sucked my energy off?
Yeah, I sucked his energy off.
You sucked my my shock?
I'm gonna take all your chakra from you. I'm gonna
You sucked my shock?
I'm a chakra shucking machine.
Okay. Whatever. Do you hate any pastries?
Oh, the scone.
The scone?
I hate the scone.
Okay.
Sorry. Not sorry. The scone. Never had a good one. They're
Really?
just dry.
Dry, yeah.
Who enjoys that?
I love a scone.
It's a chalky, dry thing.
Yeah, a muffin's a wet scone.
Yeah, at least it has moisture.
Exactly,
In there.
that's what I'm saying.
But that's the whole point of the scone is you can drink it with coffee. You know?
I get you.
Yeah.
But
Take a bite and then take a sip at the same time, have it in the mouth.
See that this is big scone propaganda.
Big scone.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you get this one thing, but you have to buy another thing to enjoy it. That's just
Right.
capitalism fucking beating you down.
Yeah.
I can enjoy a muffin by itself.
All right.
Yeah, you're talking left to its own devices.
Left to yeah,
It's a scone.
yeah. You're like, I gotta find a water fountain now. So I can sip some muffin.
Yeah, and it's not like the scone is like honeydew or cantaloupe where like, okay, 1 out of 10 is like pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right.
Zero.
I want to sing a song about scones being fucked up.
All right.
All right, ready?
This is the Scone song
go.
by Andrew Steiner.
Well, we can sing it together. Sometimes you go to the coffee shop and you don't know what you want. And you see they got a bunch of different scones. And you pick one that is cherry because who doesn't like cherries? But then you and the scone are all alone. And
That scone follows you home, and you don't know what to do, so you let it inside your house, and you say, I never do this, and the scone's like, baby, it's all right. And then that scone comes inside you, and bang, it took your cherry. That cherry is now a cherry scone because it stole your cherry. Because that scone fucked you in the ass.
And now you're pregnant with scones. And you're on the operating table and the doctor says you got crumbs coming out of your ass. And you better push it out.
But you can't because the scone dried you out, and the dry out doesn't feel good. So you get a muffin. So you call the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man says, "I'm too Billy doing muffins. Muffin life. These muffins are good and muffins are right, but not the scone. The scone says you have a bad night."
It is a scone. It's a scone.
It's a scone.
It's a scone. It's a scone. It's a scone.
Yes, it's a scone.
Scone, 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 scone.
It's a scone.
Fuck this scone.
Don't eat the scone.
So next time you have a choice, don't pick something that's not moist. Pick a croissant or a muffin. Don't pick a scone.
Don't pick the scone.
Don't pick that scone. You'll be alone at your home in that scone. You'll want to do things like rhyme with scone. Even though we ran out of them. What's your favorite SNL movie? I like the heads with the cone. You know what I'm talking about. Don't hold my cone alone. It's Cone Heads with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, yeah.
Scone.
Yeah, fuck a scone.
Don't eat that scone.
It's a scone.
It's a scone, scone, scone.
It's a scone.
Man, this one was eating a scone, and that scone felt really bad. And I said, I hate this guy. We're done. I know it's long that we're going to do the song. I had to go with the verses.
I know. I just wanted to shut it up. Just make it bomb.
That was the Scone song. We're going to put out a full album after this season of the podcast.
Yeah.
The Ovulation song and the Scone song were pretty hot.
Yeah, the nail clipper song.
Nail Clipper song.
Is it Nail Clipper song?
We do a song every episode.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love nail clippers. It's my favorite. I have to travel with nail clippers. My nails grow in like 2 days.
2 days?
They grow pretty fast.
I just bite my
I just don't
nails.
like. Oh, no, I can't.
No, I
Yeah.
bite my toenails too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah,
You
I
can
used-
reach. Can you reach the pinky?
I can't anymore. I used to be able to, but now I just do big toe.
All right. On that note, Chase,
Are
is
we
there
at
any?
an hour?
I don't know, but I have to pee real bad, and it feels like it.
No, I haven't even looked. I'm having a good time.
I know, but I gotta pee. It's got to be an
You want to
hour.
bang out a bonus one? Just make it a 2-hour special.
See how long it's been.
Chase, you got anything you want to plug?
When does this come out?
End of May, probably.
Yeah.
March, April, May. I'm such a last minute guy. Just have a YouTube. I'll post on it more if I get more followers. Let's go.
Yeah.
Follow me on
What's your
YouTube.
follower count at right now?
What's up?
What's your follower count on YouTube right
I
now?
have no idea. I don't look at that stuff. I'm
right.
trying to
I
look
look
at
every
it.
day.
That's
and I get
smart.
sad.
That's smart.
I tried to look at it. I
Yeah,
can't.
don't look at
I don't
that
look at the views. I can't.
It's you're a stronger man than I then.
Because because when you stumble across it, it's never what you think.
No.
What you think it should be.
And then if it is doing well, then good. You don't need to do anything anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I want to look at it more and make that more like a what do you call it? Like a portfolio or whatever. Treating it like a portfolio. Like, here's some
Yeah.
stuff that I did that I like.
Make it like your own
Treating it like
page,
that.
yeah.
Like, I can't be fishing for going viral. I realized how crazy it was. Like, oh yeah, I've never gone viral. Like, why would I post something and
Well,
think that I would? I'm not even shooting
You
for
were
that.
just part of the Scone song, so you're about to go viral.
that song's not going viral.
That song might go viral.
Should we do a fix? Should we do another version of it?
If we released it on National Scone
Is there
Day.
another beat?
Yeah, there's another beat.
There's another beat.
New
Give us another beat.
New beat.
Give us another beat.
New beat. New Scones.
All right. Wait, hold on. I gotta fucking.
Here we go.
All right. Jase, you want to lead us off this time?
This was a little. It's like
different?
is there another one that's
Yeah, yeah.
different?
I feel like I'm dancing underneath the moonlight in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
It's a little slower.
Feeling that?
I can change the tempo too.
Is there another tempo?
Just a little up-tempo.
This is the. Is there another genre? Is there an R&B version? What is this?
Is there a good version of this song, or? All right, maybe we should just scrap the second Scone song.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Hey, baby, I hear the Scones are calling. Toss salad.
Dracula.
Dracula. Dracula. Motherfucking Dracula. 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 Dracula.
He got them fangs in your neck.
He's stalking the night sky.
Oh, Dracula. You got them fangs in your neck like a substitute teacher that makes you watch the second Shrek. He's coming in your face with a fucking scone.
Nosferatu loves his scones. Scones. Scones.
Well, Dracula was born in the hills of Transylvania in 1642 when a guy came door to door with some scones.
It's a scone.
A scary scone. Real
A dry, ugly scone.
That'll haunt your bones.
Frankenstein likes a muffin. Werewolf likes croissants.
The mummy likes a tart with egg, and guess who likes to shout about scones? Dracula loves scones.
It wasn't built in a day. It was built many days ago, 'cause that scone is dry. It's a fucking scone.
Leave it alone.
Then Van Helsing says, I need to get rid of these scones once and for all. So he drinks some decaf coffee to make it edible. Edibles. Van Helsing comes into Dracula's lair and he says, I will defeat you once and for all. And he takes some holy water and he throws it all over Dracula's throne. Made of scones.
Scones.
But the scone absorbs all the holy water, so Dracula don't give a shit. 'Cause he knows the scone is his home.
But then in the distance, out of the ground, grows a tree, and the tree grows some beautiful breasts, and Dracula sees them, and he's brought to tears, but the tears dissolve the scones.
Now Dracula is left all alone. No scone, no breast. He's into a tomb. I stumbled over my words.
And that's okay, but that's okay.
Don't judge yourself.
Dracula went to Catholic school as a boy, and he passive-aggressively fights his family over a towel on the floor because it's not a scone.
Not a scone.
It's not a scone.
Not a scone. Not a scone. Not a scone now.
Dracula gets expelled from school, and you think he was getting eaten by a ghoul, but he actually tried to light off a road flare, and that scared all the parents. So they got together with their pitchforks and knives and say, Dracula, get out of my school.
And that is why I judge myself, because they judged me so harshly.
Now, Dracula got empathy from his life, and now he's living with his wife. And he lives so happily, and he's not alone.
Not alone.
His beautiful wife comes in, says, baby, I got a surprise for you. Yes, I do. And she pulls out a tray of the most beautiful looking scones.
I love these scones. Thank you so much, Francesca. Oh, I am so glad that you are in my life. Oh, what flavor scones are these?
Blood flavor, cherry flavor, chocolate flavor. Because I know that's what you like, my dear. Because when we're together, we will conquer all our fear. And that's the story of Dracula, and he turned into a scone.
Okay.
Feeling present when you look at a scone.
Feeling present when you lose your bones.
Feeling present when you're ready to go. But he's not ready yet. He says he wants one more scone.
One more scone. One more scone.
One more scone. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 scones. Okay.
Scone was filmed in front of a live studio audience in Santa Monica, California.
All right, everyone follow Chase on Instagram, YouTube, do it all. Thank you so much for doing this, man.
Thank you, Chase.
That was
That was
great.
fun. Good.
Second scone song.
Second scone
song all day. Thank you for giving it a shot, man. We did that. We did
That doesn't
that.
go viral. I'm quitting comedy. Like, it wasn't even the point. Scones and Dracula. No one
It
else
was
has thought
great.
of that.
It became a summary of what we talked. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that.
All right, now I need to pee.
Okay, all right. That's our episode, everybody. Follow us, Andrew and I, on social media. We'll see you next week.
Follow them.
Bye.
Bye. Oh yeah, bud.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Scones.
Scones, dude.
It's just good.